Thank you for participating in a video analysis session with Cambridge Swimming Academy. I'm now going to talk you through all of the video footage that we shot from start to finish, and we're going to analyse all of your technical flaws and how to go about correcting them. In this first shot, I did not give you anything to think about whatsoever. I just asked you to get in and swim. So this is your raw technique, i.e. how you swim normally. Notice how much you're fighting the water. The arms are going in very early, especially the right arm. The speed at which they are moving round is far too quick for what it should be. You do about 2.5k per session. It would benefit you greatly if you slowed your arms down. You will swim just as fast if you substitute the speed at which they're moving with length and quality. The head is moving very fast when you turn to breathe. Try and make this a much smoother movement as well by following the motions of the hand. At the moment, you see how quickly your head whips to the side. This needs to be much smoother so that when you turn, it keeps the body balanced and you keep your streamlined and efficient position. Your body position is generally very good, but because the arms and the head are moving quite quickly, it does have a tendency to sway and snake slightly in your wake. Under the water, you get a good idea of how the body is horizontal. However, the legs are kicking slightly out of time, so we need to try and make them a bit more balanced, ideally 3 kicks for every time that your hand enters the water. In this second shot, I asked you to try and slow down a little bit, which you have done to a degree, and also we spoke about the alignment of the arms. When an arm enters the water, it should extend in line with the body position. If you were standing on the ground and you put an arm up in the air, it would be perfectly in line with your body. When you are swimming horizontally, you need to try and achieve the same thing, i.e. every time an arm goes into the water, it should extend forward before it starts to drop. A good way to do this is to try and make your entry a bit later. The right hand especially is going in far too close to the head and the body, so try and work on getting a later entry, ideally 2/3 of a full arm extension. The hands, which we can't see as clearly here, are cupped, but that is something for you to look out for because we do not want to have a cupped hand. If you cup your hand, it makes the surface area of the hand vastly smaller. We want to think about your hands as oars on a boat. Try and keep them as flat as possible so that you can propel yourself through the water with as large a surface area as possible. Notice also the feet in this shot, how the toes are pointing straight down. We want to have the feet loose and floppy, like flippers, as this is what will give you propulsion from the feet. Try and get those movements slightly more balanced as well, as we spoke about earlier. In this third shot, we spoke about looking down more to try and even out the body position, making you more streamlined and horizontal. You're still looking slightly forward. Ideally, we want to be looking somewhere in between straight down and straight forward, so I would recommend that you look a bit further down than that. If you were standing up on the ground with good posture, your head would be perfectly aligned with the body. We want to try and achieve that exact same effect when you're swimming. In regards to breathing, we're still breathing quite sharply here, so remember what we said about following the movements of the hand. As the hand moves back under the water, don't look directly at it, but follow the general movements with your head. As it moves back, follow that. As it comes out of the water, your head should be turning to the side. As it re-enters the water, your head should be going back in. If you do that, the movements will be much smoother and less sharp. Your arm extension is much better in this shot than it was earlier. You are moving forward through the water, however the right arm still does have a tendency to drop a bit early. You're also getting more of a bend in the elbow under the water. That is something vital for propelling you effectively through the water. As the arm enters, it should extend forward into a straight position, stay straight for about 1/3 of the movement under the water, then bend at the elbow and then push towards the hip. It is that final push that is the most powerful part of the stroke. We're still moving quite quickly towards the end of this shot, so one of your main things to focus on is definitely to slow down and get those arms moving more effectively using technique rather than speed. You'll be amazed at what a difference this makes in terms of making the stroke easier and possibly faster. In regards to where the hands are entering in the water, the entry is quite a good angle. We want to be entering just inside of the shoulder line before we reach forward, which you are doing. Now you're getting a bit tired. Notice how the right arm is starting to go a bit wide and is still entering quite deep. Remember what we said about entering close to the surface of the water. We need to extend forward just underneath the surface before we pull back. You were slightly concerned about your legs when we arrived, thinking that was one of the main issues, but I really suggest that your main focus should be rolling, timing and smoothing things out, i.e. making your stroke slower in terms of the movements you're doing. To summarise, your main things to think about should definitely be slowing down, substituting speed with length and quality, making sure that when your arms enter the water, they extend forward before they pull back, trying to make the feet a little floppier, and just working on the general head position and breathing timing. If you have any questions on this, please feel free to give me a call or an email anytime.